In every story, the protagonist is the character we spend the most time with, so they're by far the most important to get right, especially in a video game. Instead of just observing this character, we are this character. It almost feels insulting to imply that we are a protagonist that is written incorrectly, but when the protagonist is endearing and likable, we can grow to love them and connect with them and love being them. So, meet the man of the hour, Ichiban Kasuga. This video will be going over why Ichiban is the greatest protagonist in gaming history and what makes him so special to so many people. What makes a gaming protagonist effective, and how does the writing of Yakuza Like a Dragon make his character one you can remember? Let's start this quest to prove why an Ichiban versus the wider world of video game protagonist, he's the best one.
Alright then. I'm ready to level up. Let's start a brand new age of heroes!
Yeah, I'm with you, Ichiban.
Let's have a toast to our new era in our new home!
Yeah, to the heroes of tomorrow.
Cheers!
If you're enjoying the video so far, make sure to like and subscribe. It only takes a second and it shows YouTube that you like this sort of content. On with the video! To truly reveal what makes Ichiban such a masterpiece of character writing, we need to analyze the context he was created in so we can understand the why and how of his character. Up until Yakuza Like a Dragon, the series was an action beat-em-up with heavy RPG influence with things like the equipment system, MP bars, a party of playable characters, and anime-inspired storytelling. But after 6 games plus a prequel and loads of spin-offs, RGG knew that Kiryu's time was up, and it was time to shake up the main character and gameplay. For years, they have been experimenting with different main characters and shaking up the gameplay by adding styles like in 0 and Kiwami, or expanding the roster like in 4 or 5. This time, the change was going to be mostly permanent, and the gameplay change was going to be major. The gameplay would triple down on its RPG influences and become a fully fledged turn-based RPG franchise. The new main character would be someone inspired by shonen protagonists of old to fit the new change in genre. Enter the hero of Yokohama, Ichiban Kasuga, a man striving to be a hero in a city plagued with crime and corruption. If he wants to take up the task of saving his home, then he just put a lot on his plate, but not without help from his party members. This begs the question, how would a realistic and grounded, mostly, series like Yakuza be turned into something as high concept as a turn-based RPG, how they usually are, while remaining with its core identity? That's a question the next section will have to answer. Let's get to how brilliant Ichiban's main gimmick is, and how the story mixes gameplay and story into one cooperating force.
Rise from rock bottom to the future I've seen in my dreams. So come on, let's go level up.
The way RGG adapted the RPG into such a grounded setting was to make the world function off of video game logic. Mundane things such as action stars, becoming a better person, and street combat were transformed into grand video game logic. If you've ever watched the film Scott Pilgrim, it probably sounds very similar to that, which it is. The reason this happens in Yakuza Like a Dragon is because Ichiban is a die-hard gamer who sees the world in video game logic, because in his childhood he was all by himself, sat alone playing Dragon Quest in his room. All his time spent outside was in crime because of his upbringing, until he was taken in by Masumi Arakawa. As a Yakuza member, Ichiban saw a chance to be the hero he has always admired in his Dragon Quest games. Whenever Ichiban gets into a fight, he lets his opponent take a turn after hitting them. When he picks up the bat a little bit into the game, he starts pseudo-hallucinating and things turn to a video game. The people around him turn to monsters and his friends gain powers. Jobs from our world turn into RPG jobs. The mage is now the host. The thief becomes the bodyguard, and the knight becomes the enforcer. How this plays into Ichiban's character is that it makes him a reflection on video game protagonists themselves. Ichiban is a story about how people can become influenced by fiction and grow from it, taking its most valuable lessons. All Ichiban's party members grow through thoroughly believing in something. Nanba believes in the power of his friendship with the people he has met across his journey. Seiko believes in finding justice for those she lost. And Adachi believes in Ichiban. Ichiban fits under the wannabe hero trope, but this prompts the question, what does it mean to be a hero? To truly aspire and act for good. With that drive, Ichiban cannot be stopped. No matter how strong his opponents are, a strong enough why can create a strong character that anyone can see the point of. That is the in-universe and out-of-universe reason Ichiban sees the world through the eyes of a video game Dragon Quest hero. On the topic of games, let's head to the next segment.
My life is like a video game, trying hard to beat the stage, all while I am still collecting coins. Trying hard.
When creating a main character of a video game, story is not the only dimension to consider. Having that character be complemented through great gameplay is at the core of the experience. You could have a character that is amazingly written, but if they play like trash, people aren't going to like them. Luckily, the mechanics, side quests, and activities help complement the character of Ichiban and makes you love being the guy through the power of interweaving story and gameplay as one united force. First off, the mechanics of how he plays in combat. To remind you, the game functions off an RPG job system, but it's based off of, well, real jobs from our real world. Ichiban slightly circumvents this rule. His job is hero, implying his fate to be a hero for the world is just as much of a dedicated occupation as being some sort of like chef or pop star would be, showing his dedication to the craft of being a hero. In gameplay, this makes him an all-rounder. He largely does physical damage, often with the aiding of elements applied to his damage. He has strong single target damage and AoE damage. When it comes to defending his world, he will be the strongest and at the front lines of the fight. He still relies on other people, and I'm not even talking about the party members this time around. I'm talking about the Pound Mates. These are the summons. Some of them are gotten through the story, but most coming from the insane amount of side content. The side quests strengthen its characterization as someone who helps anyone in need, and someone with a drive to change the world at any cost. To show you the lengths Ichiban would go to make sure people are doing great is one where some businessman needs like hot water for some baby formula, or else the man's wife will nag him about it to no end. So Ichiban goes to get hot water for the man, and now the man has what he needs. Ichiban and the guy who initiated this quest hear babies crying from inside a mysterious building. Ichiban rushes in without a single thought, and the quest guy follows him. Turns out it was a bunch of adult babies who are also Yakuza members. Ichiban fights it out with these men, and outside the fight, Ichiban just accepts their interests outside of the almost trying to kill him thing. But from this unlikely meeting, a bond is formed, and he gets a new summon from this meeting. For example of other quests, Ichiban defends a persimmon tree so that a little girl could have confidence in surviving a potentially dangerous surgery. Ichiban rescues someone's crawfish and helps a man invent a better Roomba that's the size of a living room. All this inspiration from playing Dragon Quest as a child. The gameplay uses these side quests that Yakuza is known for to show, not tell, that Ichiban is someone who goes the extra mile for people he doesn't even know. An absolute madman of a hero was made for a franchise like this, with its absolutely enormous amount of side content and side quests to do. I've spent over 200 hours in this game, and I didn't even see all there is to see from this absolute masterpiece. This is a writing strength unique to the art of video games, to put you in the shoes of making you go out of your way to make someone's day better in a side quest, sometimes with minimal to no rewards. Video games put us in control of characters, even characters that we might not agree with or share similar life experiences with. They can make us understand their actions when we have to do those actions and live those lives ourselves. To be someone better for just a moment can truly inspire a player to be better themselves. That is why so many people resonated with Ichiban, as I said at the start of this video. So, now for the conclusion.
There's no shame in being at the bottom. All that matters is how you decide to climb back out of the darkness. There's always a ray of hope up there.
Just through strong characterization, a strong core motive, and a likable personality, gaming's best main character was created. Yakuza 7 might have been controversial to some, of the fandom due to its shift to a turn-based RPG, but there is so much love out there for Ichiban. So many fans have connected with this silly man. There are so many things I could have brought up, like the memes surrounding him, the impact on the fan base, and how the character is reflected in other characters with his influence on them, but I chose to keep this video brief. May Like a Dragon 9 be just as good as the other two Ichiban games. We love you, Ichiban. And to the viewer, bye!